god, he is down bad. I like this. Honestly, anytime you break a British man's heart, that's just revenge for their colonialism. So I highly encourage this behavior. August has really just become a second Pride Month at this point because we got Heartstopper coming out and now we have Red, White, and Royal Blue. This is a movie that came out on Amazon Prime and it is based on a novel that I have not read, but what I do know is that it is basically a romance between a son of the President of the United States and another son of the King of England. It's such an absurd premise, but I kind of love how scandalous it sounds. Plus, we all know that all the girlies love flocking towards stories about gay men banging. Doesn't matter if they're the sons of war criminals or colonizers. If they're gay, the girlies will eat that up. Again, I haven't read the book, so I don't have a point of comparison, but I do recognize the actors. The guy playing the prince is the same guy who played the prince in the Cinderella movie with Camila Cabello, which I reacted to. It was awful. But he was also in Purple Hearts, which is a Netflix movie that I reacted to, where he played a military dude who was racist and homophobic and went into this green card marriage. But I will commend him for his very versatile acting career. He really said, never let them predict your next move. And then the other guy in this movie, he was in The Kissing Booth. So this movie definitely did not seem like it would be good to me, which is actually why I would want to react to it. Anytime there's a terrible movie, I just see dollar signs in my eyes for how I can profit off of it. However, my girlfriend has watched the movie, sobbed her eyes out, constantly told me how good it was. I think she's rewatched it about 5 to 10 times. I think it's getting close to 10. We lost track at this point. And so now I'm like, oh my God, maybe this might actually be good after all. Like, I'm coming here with the intention of making fun of this movie, but it might just gag me a little bit. But before we get into the reaction, I want to say thank you to today's sponsor. If you're going to be swept up in scandalous affairs in the world of politics, it only makes sense for you to also be well-versed in learning new languages. In which case, Babbel would be amazing for that because it is one of the top language learning apps in the world.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
Ça va? I travel constantly and it is so useful to be able to speak the language when you're visiting another country. So Babbel is really great because it can prepare you for those instances. They're scientifically proven to help you start learning a new language in 3 weeks. I really like that they teach you real world conversations, so it's phrases and vocabulary that you would actually use in your day-to-day life. The lessons are designed by real language teachers and they have a bunch of subscriptions for you to choose from, including a lifetime subscription. Plus they have live classes too, and you can get 2 free classes with your subscription. If you change your mind, they have a 20-day money-back guarantee. So if you're interested in trying out Babbel, you can get 60% off of your subscription using the link in my description below. Let me know if you try it out and also what language you're interested in learning. All right, now let's go ahead and watch this movie and see if it's actually good or not.
It's the whole Prince Henry comparison thing. He spent his entire life attending fancy events like this. He was trained for this. I feel like if I use the wrong fork at dinner, they're just gonna eat me alive.
So he feels self-conscious next to a prim and proper prince, but realistically, would the son of a US president care? Like, do you think Trump's son gives a shit about fork placement? How about you worry about abortion rights before you worry about where to place your spoons?
You're not gonna want to hear this, but that Prince Henry is so yummy.
Oh, you know what is obscene? Is how attractive the president's son is.
Not them trying to keep it in the family. Imagine if they went through an actual love square with the sisters falling for the main guys and then the gays just bamboozled their own sisters. I feel like that would be the plot line of a porno, but I also think the whole premise of this movie is like the plot line of a porno.
I have heard so much about you. You're sticking with me tonight, come on.
Now imagine if they were gay. Imagine if these bitches were gay instead. That would be so slay.
How's it going?
That is pretty rude. However, maybe he is just simply trying to dodge your eyelashes that are like a mile long. Like, damn. Every time this guy blinks, he just cleans his car window like they're windshield wipers. You telling me you got a towering cake reaching to the ceiling and it's still the blandest looking thing ever? You paid 75,000 pounds for that. Where's the color or frosting? That looks like a cake mold you put in a 3D diagram before you added any graphics to it. You know, if you took a bite out of that thing, that shit would be rock solid. No sense of moist texture at all. The only moistness we're gonna get is these two.
Wow, that.
You can tell this movie is based on a book that Casey McQuiston wrote because the main guy is just acting goofy as fuck and that's supposed to be charismatic. It just gives that classic contemporary romance that's popular among young adult readers energy. Look at him swinging his legs like a dork. Like the girlies are eating it up.
Henry! What's up? Long time no see.
I would absolutely get shit-faced at a wedding. What is the point of going to one if you're not gonna get drunk? I went to a friend's wedding the other month, just double fisting drinks at the open bar, and the group of friends that I went with said that they could tell that I was drunk because I was visibly happy. That's how you really know.
Oh, you gotta wonder how many families he could feed.
Dude, that shit is ceramic. Fake as fuck. That cake is from Barbie's dream house.
Tell me something, Your Majesty.
Yes, Alex.
You were desperately in need of one. You know what?
This shit is so goofy. Oops, I got cake over you. Cut to 1 hour later, we're gonna see another type of white frosting on the prince, if you know what I mean. These F-slurs are gonna be crushed to death by that hunk of metal that we're all pretending to be cake. Let's be real. They would both suffer from a concussion, hospitalized immediately. The prince would pay like 10 pounds to go to the hospital, while the American guy would spend the rest of his life in debt. Oh no, they wrestled in cake. How very homoerotic.
You hear that, Zara? He's opening with a joke.
How the fuck did they get Uma Thurman to play yassified Hillary Clinton? Damn. Maybe in another universe where she's a hot young blonde chick, she would have won. Who's gonna play Bernie? George Clooney? Funny how the buttercream summit and that picture would work for the same title and thumbnail for a porn video. I say this as a joke, but I just know the gay men who are watching my channel just had their hopes up for a fraction of a second.
What I need from you is some good old-fashioned damage control.
Listen, you gotta blow Prince Henry if you wanna make this right. It's how we get the LGBTQ voters, not to mention every mom in the Midwest.
There is no getting out of this.
Oh, yeah? What if I set myself on fire?
What if I staged storming the Capitol? What if that was the reason for January 6th? Just to get out of sucking some English dick. It's weird how, in order to buy into the story, you have to believe in this utopian fantasy that a white liberal clearly made, where the US president is a woman, and all the other people in traditionally masculine roles, like bodyguards, are also women. It's giving the Barbie universe.
My NDA is bigger than yours, I want you to know that.
You're wearing lifts. You know that too, sweetheart.
So I have a friend who has been talking about this movie adaptation since the moment there was casting, and like all the promos made it seem like the actors were so uncomfortable and not suited for this role. And my friend and I were just so gleefully ready for this to be a hot mess. But this moment right here, when the prince said, "I know that too, sweetheart," in the trailer, that's when I lost my friend. He started kicking his feet and giggling, and from then on, I could tell he was genuinely excited to watch this movie. I should have known. There's something about a white man with Princess Peach lips that has the F-slurs going wild.
Can you two scooch in a little closer together?
She's like, "Can you two fuck on the bench right now? I'm trying to make history happen."
What 3 words would I use to describe Henry? White, blonde, and British.
This is the same caption that racist men on Grindr write in their bios. Mask for mask, no Asians, no fatties, just white, blonde, and British. Nothing hotter than scrambling over each other's limbs in a hospital closet that smells like shit, while the cameraman struggles to fit them both in one frame.
Why'd you dislike me?
Climate conference in Melbourne, first night party. I went to introduce myself to you and you looked at me like I had head lice. Then you turned to your equerry and said, "Get me out of here."
Ooh, I bet that all this time, when he's been so standoffish and avoidant with the main guy, he actually was attracted to him from the moment they met. But he probably had to like repress it due to his princely duties or something. Ooh, you know what? They better go there because that shit would be so juicy. That's some Allie Hazelwood type of shit, because I love it when a fictional man acts like he has a stick up his ass, but it's really a front to cover his yearning. If they go down this route, I will be invested.
I didn't realize you'd heard that.
So you do admit that's a douchey thing to say.
I could have been nicer.
Wait, is he blushing or is that makeup? I am seated.
Alright, what else? Couldn't have just been the conference. Oh my god, it is.
Okay, I don't blame the guy because, first of all, first impressions are important. So if you act like a bitch right off the bat, that's how you're gonna be perceived until you do a lot nicer things to make up for it. Second of all, as someone who also holds grudges whenever I feel slighted, I support the main guy.
I'm sorry I was a prick to you. It's no excuse, but I was a prick to everyone in those days.
And what does it mean when someone acts like a prick to everyone? Usually it's because they're repressing something, like being a homo.
My father had died a few months before, and the palace insisted on parading me around.
Oh shit, never mind. Okay, maybe you weren't homo, maybe you were just grieving. I'm sorry, my condolences. This is such a classic way to develop a cold-hearted character to see they're not such a bad guy after all. They talk to a kid with cancer for like 2 seconds, humanity has been restored. Next, we'll see him pick up a stray puppy and nurse it to health. He's just a misunderstood softie, that's all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Why is he looking at him like that? Something about that look, whether he's envious of how carefree the main guy is, or wishes he could be him, or wishes he could be with him. Damn, maybe I will like this movie. I'm just a simple bitch. I just love it when men yearn.
Es lo que te hace tan encantador. Eso y las pestañas.
I should get going.
Lo mismo, Alex.
Oh my god, this guy's gay too. I feel like they had a history though, but that's messy. You do not want to be the president's son and be banging a journalist. That's just a recipe for disaster. Like, come on, get it together. That emoji is cute. Damn, I can't believe I'm gonna like this guy. The very same guy from Purple Hearts and Cinderella. He really is showing his range here. That's a good one. But actually though, the prince should look a lot more fucked up instead of conventionally attractive. That family tree is messed up. Also, what is he, like in his mid-20s, late 20s? Based on the royal family line, he should be balding by now.
The onus falls to the defendant to show not just...
Damn it, this is cute. They have this banter going on and they can talk very naturally with each other and share things. Even if they weren't gonna be romantic, this is a good foundation for a friendship too. Damn, not me being pleasantly surprised at the bare minimum for developing relationships. Maybe it did help that the bar was Purple Hearts and the kissing booth.
I'm hanging up now.
No, I'm hanging up on you.
Fine, have it your way.
Good night.
Not them talking right before going to sleep. Do we know two straight dudes that do that? I don't think so. Very strange. This is the most people of color and queer people that any US president's son has ever been around in history. Like, yeah, they are gonna be making history with this relationship in the first place, but look at that friend group.
You don't dance? Ballroom lessons didn't exactly cover this. All in the hips.
This feels like homosexual behavior to me. Y'all better control yourselves. No fucking way are they having some romantic, tender, eye-gazing moment where everyone is dropping their ass to the floor to the song Get Low by Lil Jon. No fucking way. Let's be for real here. How would that even happen? How would you silence out a song like that in your head to just like tenderly share a moment with each other? I call bullshit. Also, this is like time slowing down, but like realistically, this would be like 1 second. Why this song? Of all songs. I knew it! I knew this British wanker was into the main guy's wanker. He is so devastated. No straight man would be upset. Oh my god, he is down bad. I like this. Honestly, anytime you break a British man's heart, that's just revenge for their colonialism. So I highly encourage this behavior.
What are you doing out here? Wanted to get some air.
Next to a tree in the middle of fucking nowhere? Okay, weirdo.
Did I do something wrong?
You acted like a heterosexual in front of my salad. Listen, I'm not gonna judge you for your lifestyle. I just don't want it in my face, okay? Disgusting.
Do you ever wonder who you'd be if you were an anonymous person in the world?
He would be the biggest twink that ever twinked. He's grieving that right now. This alternate life where he could have been a power bottom. Instead, he's had to pretend that he's straight in Cinderella and Purple Hearts. That's really sad. Oh my god, not him running his hand through the main guy's hair. Prince Henry, my goodness. He's clinging onto that hair for dear life because he knows his genetics will not be kind to him.
I'm sorry.
Hey man, don't worry about it. You know how the French kiss each other on the cheek when they greet each other? This is just how the British say hello. Wow, getting ghosted after the most thrilling kiss in your life. A very accurate experience to the plight of gay men.
I can wrap my head around being low level into guys, but what I'm really confused about is being into Henry.
Oh, the main guy is bi. Okay, good for you, bitch. Join the club. I will say it is fun to be a bi person who's in a same-sex relationship. I know people talk about how they deal with bi erasure and all that, but I never really had a problem with that. I feel like you just keep people on their toes, you know? It's like, what's my next move gonna be? Who am I gonna be with next? It's like the Russian roulette.
He can't ignore me all night, can he?
Dude, you need to just go to the palace and open up Grindr. We gotta reach out to him on different avenues. Dude, you gotta make your gay staring less obvious, especially when you're in front of the journalist that you already hooked up with. I don't trust that guy, by the way. I feel like he's gonna get involved in the third act conflict somehow and expose their relationship, which would be a super douchey move on his part. That would be gay on gay crime. But he's the closest character we have to an antagonist so far, so I am very suspicious. I will keep an eye on Selena.
I just need to talk to Henry in private.
Best I can do is the red room.
Meeting in the red room. Okay, Jane Eyre.
I owe you an explanation. My behavior was appalling.
They're gonna make out there. Oh my God, you guys. What happened to hello? How are you? They're just walking out of the room with rock hard erections, not suspicious at all.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna stay at least 500 feet away from me for the rest of the night. Then at midnight, you're gonna come to my room on the second floor of the residence where I'm going to do some very bad things to you.
He is so into it. You fucking bottom. You nasty little twink. Good for you. This is probably the most excited he's been in a long while. Being in a royal family seems so oppressive that if getting dicked down is the only way to truly feel like yourself, you better go for it, dude. Oh my God, they said choreography. Wait, they only did one blowjob and never advance any further? In what world would they just stop there? I call bullshit. Typical Americans never reciprocate. They just take and never give back. Honestly, this kind of situation where both the people banging under the sense of the presidents, it is kind of gagging me, I will admit that. Like if you think about it, that shit would be so scandalous in real life. Literally, people would never stop talking about it. Nah, this ain't doing it for me. Sorry, this is too British for me. I can't get into it. You know, like the uniform, the goggles. Oh, here they go, making out again. You know, whatever works for the main guy. No fucking way did they do a montage with a quick shot of his butt in those pants. They are so fucking goofy for that. Excuse me, Amazon Prime. Jeff Bezos, you are fucking goofy for that. I think I like this movie because it feels like a rom-com because of the lighthearted tone, but instead of a straight couple, it's a gay couple, which is nice because I think a lot of gay stories involve trauma, and I think it's a shame because queer stories should have a spectrum of different genres and tones. Like we should have moody stories and we should have silly, goofy stuff like this too.
My full name is Henry George Edward James Hanover Stuart Fox.
And I thought Alexander Gabriel Claremont Diaz was a mouthful.
He is.
You nasty bitches. Well, if you're gonna be a whore, might as well do it in Paris where everyone in the city is a whore. So I guess you can blend into your environment.
It's my life. Prince Henry belongs to Britain. Henry Fox has to belong to himself, or else he'll vanish.
But why though? He's acting like he has some duty to fulfill and to serve some grander purpose that's bigger than his own individuality. But the British royal family doesn't actually do anything. Like you're not even changing the rules of the government, you just exist. Like if you're gonna be angsty over your duties, I would better understand it if you actually had duties to begin with, but you don't, right? Like they don't do anything. So when my girlfriend watched this scene and told me about it, she says she didn't realize that gay men could have sex in this missionary position. She also cried watching the scene because it was so sweet and tender. So who knew getting educated about gay men could make you so emotional?
Is there any part of you that wishes you weren't the son of a president?
I actually wish I could help more.
It's the way men in real life who are majoring in political science would never say shit like this.
You may not understand this, but in America, if you're an immigrant with a Z in your last name, there's not a lot of people in positions of power that look like you or sound like you. You can't know what that means.
I'm learning.
Aw, teaching your twink boyfriend about white privilege. How sweet. And doing it right after taking his virginity. Double whammy right there. He's gonna remember that lesson forever.
Dear Alex, I can't think of a single way to start this email except to say you're incredible. But should I also tell you that when we're apart, your body comes back to me in my dreams? I can feel your skin against mine and it makes every bone in my body ache.
I like how the prince is like, yeah, I know you're doing important work trying to make sure the country doesn't get overturned by a Republican president and jeopardize the rights of immigrants and women everywhere, but I really miss that good dick.
Really makes me want to visit.
Yes, I was just thinking that I want you to come and see it one day.
I wish I could. but my duties keep me here.
Bro, what duties? You literally don't do shit. There's a reason why we've been watching several montage clips of the main guy and just a voiceover for you. That director didn't even know what he could film you doing. That's how little you do.
The only thing I'm confirming tonight is that you're an asshole. Buenas noches, cabrón.
What are you doing here?
We need to get up to my room right now.
Oh no, they're gonna get exposed. I'm scared.
Where is she?
Zora, no one is here.
My brother's a homo? Listen, you can't be mad at him, because in his defense, the whole point of the publicity stunt in the beginning of this movie was to make them friendly with each other. And what is friendlier than putting a dick in his ass? That's like best friend level.
I've met someone. He happens to be Henry.
We're gonna need some pizza.
Damn, I didn't know mom was chill like that. Wow, I thought it was gonna turn sad where she would ask him to choose between the relationship or saving her campaign. But instead, she's like, let's get some fucking pepperoni and you tell me the tea.
I just want to make sure you know you need to wear a condom if you're having anal intercourse. If you're bottoming, then you need the HPV vaccine, and I can have HHS send over some brochures.
Not only is this bitch an ally to the gays, she also believes in vaccinations. I'll tell you what, yassified Hillary Clinton gets my vote.
Oh, I'm having such a good time.
You know, it's a good thing he's pretty. He doesn't need to be a singer. His job is just being pretty, and that's okay.
Gotta be honest, I thought because he was a prince that he'd be a little more of a candy ass.
Oh, trust me, your son is very well aware his ass is made of candy. It's been getting chomped the fuck up, if you know what I mean.
So you like him?
What's not to like?
His parents are so cavalier about this, and that is extremely lucky and rare, because what kind of president and their spouse would be okay with this and not worry about how it looks? Especially when they're running for a re-election. Maybe the author had to make his parents chill, because I'm sure the prince's parents are not gonna be cool with this. Like, you can't have both parents being homophobic, then the movie would be too long.
I never felt this way about anyone. It's like there's a rope attached to my chest and it keeps pulling me towards you.
I like how the main guy is still acting goofy, like this is the 4th movie in the Kissing Booth franchise. Meanwhile, the prince is acting like they're filming Pride and Prejudice. He's looking so morose while the dude in the back is just chilling. He's like, I will get my fucking Oscar for this, because I cannot do a fucking Purple Hearts movie again. From now on, it's Bridgerton or bust.
I ended things with Alex.
Wait, what? When did that happen? We did not even see that conversation. You just jumped into a lake and then you pouted in bed. Is this how the gays break up now? They'll do anything but talk it out, huh?
The idea of royalty in the 21st century, it's so antiquated. Sometimes I wonder if what we do has any meaningful impact on people's lives.
I mean, you obviously don't. Like, again, British nobility don't do shit. I thought y'all already knew that. But why is he acting like he is restrained to this? You have enough money and privilege to do whatever kind of project or initiative you want. He's not actually gonna be king because he's like the second son, right? So he doesn't have to put on a role or anything. I mean, like, yeah, he still has to, you know, look okay to the public, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't know, maybe I'm just being ignorant because I'm obviously not like a British royal.
All I know is I'm the one here willing to fight for us. Because it costs you nothing!
What the fuck does that mean? It does cost him something. He's in American politics. People are gonna be shitting their pants when they find out he's dicking down the prince.
My life is the crown, and yours is politics, and I will not trade one prison for another. And it doesn't make me a liar. It makes me a man with some infinitesimal shred of self-preservation.
I know he was eating that line. I know he was practicing saying that long-ass word in front of the mirror.
So tell me to go, Henry, and I promise I will walk out that door and trouble you no longer.
He is chewing that scene. I'm gonna be honest though, I don't know about this acting. They're both doing a little bit too much for me. It's giving Lifetime movie, but it's okay. The movie is still cute. You can argue that the main guy not having any actual tears in his eyes is due to his limited range of acting, but I would provide a counter argument here that it's actually because of his long, thick fucking eyelashes that are windshield wipers, so it's impossible for any rain or tears to actually drop in his eyes. Dragging the dude you're breaking up with to a museum where you're like ogling a bunch of naked statues, it's kind of a weird thing to do in the middle of breaking up with him, but okay. I mean, what's more gay than looking at Greek statues with penises right out in the open? Maybe it helps remind them what's really important, getting that good peen. This moment is so randomly shoehorned in, but I know with 100% certainty that my girlfriend cried her ass off watching this. She didn't tell me which part she cried at because obviously she didn't want to spoil it for me, but I just know this drenched her entire face with tears.
What's going on?
Your emails to Alex have been hacked.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god. Shit. I did not expect that. I mean, I knew they would be exposed eventually, but I thought it would be like paparazzi photos of them holding hands or something. Not their emails where they write like they're in fucking Pride and Prejudice.
They were posted overnight to Reddit. The Mirror and the Sun ran them this morning.
How many of our emails?
All of them.
And posted on Reddit too. Oh my god, they're fucked. He is shitting his pants right now. Oh no. Dude, they should not have written to each other on email or even text. I feel like when politicians or anyone in royalty have affairs, they're more slick about it. Like, you know, you can't leave a paper trail. You gotta have like a burner phone, FaceTime, even Snapchat.
Which the Mirror is calling the Waterloo Letters, details the romance of Prince Henry and Alex Claremont Diaz.
As details emerge about Alex Claremont Diaz's relationship with the prince.
Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps. This feels so visceral because if this shit ever happens in real life, literally everybody would be talking about it. And because they're gay, oh my god, there would be so many nasty ass comments from both homophobic people and the gays themselves. A lot of people would paint this as debauchery or something nasty or immoral, even though this relationship is actually very sweet and wholesome. And that judgment is because they're gay. Like, if this were a straight couple, yes, it would still be a scandal, but I don't think people would see it with this degree of shame. Oh man, I feel so bad for them. They just want to be happy. I knew this nasty rat would be involved. I called it the moment I saw him. Also, the fact that a gay man would out another gay man, that's fucking vile. He will not be seeing the pearly gates. You are going to hell, and it's not because you like sucking dick, it's because you're a fucking rat.
We've struggled every day with what this means for our families, our countries, and our futures. What was taken from us this week was our right to determine for ourselves how and when we should share our relationship and queer identities with the world. This isn't about shame. This is about privacy and the fundamental right of self-determination, which are exactly the principles on which the struggle for queer liberation has always been fought.
This is very well said. I'm glad he's not trying to dismiss the emails, but being upfront about it and why they've literally done nothing wrong. It's everyone else who is exploiting this and violating their privacy. And you know what? It's a lot easier to judge other people when you get to see all of their intimate thoughts and vulnerabilities, but you yourself have the luxury of not sharing any of your personal business to the public because you get to hide behind being anonymous and being an ordinary person. I'm glad that he is standing strong and owning up to it. And he's like, yeah, I sucked the prince's dick and you bitches would do it too.
I love His Royal Highness, Prince Henry George, Edward James, Hanover Stuart Fox.
Period. You know he loves that man when he's able to say his full goofy ass name.
Just hold on until I get there. We'll figure this out.
They're so dramatic, but it's endearing. I like this movie. It doesn't have the best budget or the best acting, but it's sweet. We don't get a lot of gay media that feels wholesome and sweet like this instead of like trauma or depression, so I'm into it.
Have you heard from your grandfather yet?
Not a word.
Who cares? He's probably old and decrepit and will die in like 5 days. Have you seen all the old people in a royal family? You could give them like one hot Cheeto and it would kill them over. Wait, that's what the grandpa looks like? I call bullshit. Everyone in the royal family looks way too young in this movie, and they still have their hairlines? No way. I guess this is taking place in an alternate reality where politics and royalty aren't corrupt and racist. So maybe in this alternate reality, it shows that if you aren't racist, you will age well.
Alex and I love each other deeply, and we are committed to each other.
Yeah, and do you have a set of working eyes? He's fucking hot. Come on. We all know the family line needs some help in the genetics department.
Your primary responsibility is not your heart, but your country. And anything other than maintaining the traditional royal image is out of the question.
Literally, what does he do? Nothing. How does he actually help the country? If anything, the country would probably be better off without the royal family because they would be saving money.
Oh my God, Henry, look at this. Apparently there are crowds forming in Manchester, Sheffield, Birmingham.
I like how this movie couldn't afford an actual crowd of people outside the palace, so they had to green screen some fuzzy footage of the window reflection. I believe there would be lots of people supporting them, but I also feel like there would be a lot of hate mobs and people protesting too. Like in real life, there would be fights breaking out. Am I too cynical? Like, I would like to believe this kind of situation is acceptable, but I don't have enough faith in humanity for that. It's fine. I will give the gays this fictional universe where they're accepted. Sometimes it's nice to live in delusion.
The entire
entire race now hangs on Texas.
This shit would definitely not happen. The country just found out her son has been digging down the twink prince of England. Texas would not be down for that. But again, I'll give them this fantasy. Man, this ending, and I guess this whole movie in general, makes me feel so bittersweet because it's nice to have this escapism and happiness, but we also know this wouldn't happen. This is like a utopian version of America and England, and I would like to live there. Man, I liked this movie. It was sweet. It makes me wish we lived in a better world. As much as I had hoped this movie would be terrible for the sake of having a funny reaction, this ended up being very sweet and endearing. The acting isn't the greatest. All the budget clearly went to licensing Taylor Swift's discography for The Summer I Turned Pretty instead, and they left like scraps for this movie's budget, but it had heart. It has like this corny sweetness that gays deserve to have in movies too. I think I actually feel a little bit emo now just because there's like that bittersweet feeling where you wish something could actually happen, but like it can't, not at this point in time. You know how when people watch Heartstopper and they feel that bittersweet feeling because they see these happy gay teenagers thriving and they're happy for these gay teens, but they're also feeling kind of sad because it wasn't something that they got to experience. This is like my version of that, where I'm watching this sweet couple thrive, but I'm also feeling sad because I know that this shit would never happen in real life and we would never have Uma Thurman as president. If you've made this far, thanks for watching with me. Go ahead and unsubscribe from my channel, and goodbye.
Wise men say only a fool's rush in, but I